What's going on, guys? This is Destiny Heroic, and I'm coming at you today with a new deck profile. This is my Link Joker Blaster Joker deck. And so yeah, let's just get right into it here. There's a few things here. There shouldn't be too much that's surprising, but I'll go over some of the choices I've made. First off, my grade 3 lineup, obviously 4 Blaster Jokers, since he's the star of the deck. He is lock all your opponent's rear guards at a cost of locking one of your own Starvaders, Counterblast 2 and Soul Blast 2. And then if their opponent's Vanguard is in Legion, you destroy the Legion mate, and that forces them to re-ride and re-Legion. So that's a pretty powerful ability. It's very unique. So far it's unique to the Link Joker strategy, the Link Joker archetype, I should say. And so I'm using Garnet Star as the alternate grade 3, and that's because Blaster Joker uses up so much counterblast. He has such a heavy cost that I want to be able to ride something that doesn't have a cost. And Garnet Star can lock units without paying counterblast, even if it's only once when you Legion. So the ideal play would be to ride into Garnet Star, Legion, and lock 2 cards, and then play that guy, which I'll get to in a minute, and then ride Blaster Joker, and you'll have at least 4 cards in your soul to pay for the cost twice. So obviously, as my starter, I'm using Brave Fang. Again, he doesn't have a counterblast cost, and when he boosts something that hits, you can Omega Lock 2 of an opponent's locked cards, which is a very powerful ability. You can cut off their front row, or if their front row if you use Blaster Joker, or the 2 cards locked if you use Garnet Star. For grade 2s, you absolutely have to run 4 Photons in this deck, because Photon is the Legion mate for both of the grade 3s. But he can help with the Garnet Star. You can lock a 3rd card and just gain some advantage that way. But really, he's in there to be the Legion mate. I'm using 4 Starvader of Silence Dilaton. When you play this guy, if the opponent has 2 or more locked cards, then you search your deck for a Blaster Joker. So the stream of the deck is like play Garnet Star, lock 2 cards, play that guy, search Blaster Joker, and then play Blaster Joker the next opportunity you get. You can also use this guy to search additional Blaster Jokers, because Blaster Joker's secondary ability is you can soul charge a copy of something that's in the Vanguard circle, him or Photon, and he will gain a crit for the turn. It's a very powerful ability when coupled with some of the other cards. So for the last grade 2, I'm using 3 copies of Niobium, +2 each time a card is locked, each time he sees a card get locked. So when you're locking 5 cards with Blaster Joker, he gains 10k, which is very powerful. In conjunction with Lanthanum, who has the same ability but at grade 1, you can make a column that is 36,000 on its own before you trigger check. So that's a very, very powerful ability, and I've tried to hinge a lot of my plays around this kind of a column that I make with these 2. So continuing into grade 1s, I've got lots of guard power. Turn down Dragon, when your opponent has 2 locked cards or more, and you use this as a Guardian, then he will gain an additional 10,000 shield. So he's a 15 shield for 1 card, which is really good. 4 Null Guards, obviously. I'm not using any of the Quintet Walls, because again, it costs a counterblast, and I really want to avoid counterblasting for something other than Blaster Joker as much as possible. I'm using 3 copies of Volt Line, which is the if he boosts and your opponent has locked cards, if he boosts and hits a Vanguard, then you can Omega Lock a card. And 2 copies of Mayoron, which is the ultimate booster, the ultimate support card for Blaster Joker. Rest it, and Blaster Joker gains 10k if it's in Legion. and then if you pay Blaster Joker's cost, you can then lock Mayoran as the cost for locking a Star Vader. And for the rest of the deck, I've got 4 draws, 8 crits, the other crits over there, and 4 heals. So there's nothing too spectacular about the trigger lineup. I've always been a fan of running extra criticals. Majority criticals in a Link Joker deck. There's a lot of people out there who say you should run a lot of draw. But in this type of a deck, I find that the advantage you gain by limiting your opponent's attacks and having more 10k shield triggers that you can draw helps you in that part of the game where you can no longer lock them and you just have to beat them down and defend while they do their stuff. So that's the deck. Let me know what you think. This was a pretty short video, but again, I appreciate all of your views, and thanks for watching. Peace.